Welcome to the North Coast Podcast. We are live from Sweet Tea's studio. North Coast Podcast, we interview amazing people and turn their interview into improvised hip-hop songs. My name is Douglas Widick.
I am Billy Soco.
I am Dr. Brick.
I'm Adam Payne.
And to the right of Adam is one of the most talented people you will ever see on a stage. You've seen him in Freestyle Love Supreme. Give it up for MC Jelly D, Andrew Bancroft, the one and only.
Hi, hello, hi. What's up?
How's it
Thanks
going?
for having me. So good to see you all.
So
we
good to see
didn't
you.
plan the green thing either.
We
That's
did not
kinda
plan the
crazy.
green thing. What do you think that is?
Like
do you think
mines.
mine? Because I feel like mine's like green adjacent.
Yes.
But like this is like a full blown like
Mine's aggressive green. That's
Yeah.
pretty lime green.
It's
Yeah,
just a
Toxic green.
suburban Michael Flatley dance class level of green
very
happening
nice.
here.
Right, yeah.
I
Yeah.
have white green.
White, green, yeah.
Yeah, that still counts.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we are spring right now. We are. That's what we want. We want
Yeah.
spring
We're
to sprung.
invoking.
Yeah.
But it's pouring rain.
And if you missed it on YouTube, if you're just listening, do you want me to call you Jelly during this or Andrew?
This is always the question because there are some people who like try to call me Andrew and they're like, ugh, Jelly.
Yeah.
That's just like what, especially in like the FLS crew, it's like I'm Jelly to everybody. But
Yeah.
when I like sign an email, it's usually like Andrew, you know, for
Right.
like business clients or whatever. They're always like, should I call you Jelly? I'm like, it's
Yeah.
easier to remember, and you probably have an Andrew in your team already. So
Sure.
it's up to you.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
feing jelly.
Hey, but
I
what do
like jelly.
Yeah, it's
Also,
also
in
if we
this
have an
kind of
option.
world that's kind of.
Okay.
There's a question though from this is the origin story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know this.
Okay.
I don't know the origin story. I'm sure you have told this story, but would you do the honor?
Sure. Yeah, it's not very long or crazy. It
great.
is. But we should start in the Mesozoic area. I don't even think that's Mesozoic. I'm making something
Mesozoic,
up.
yeah,
That's not
yeah.
era. And I said area. So like it's that was a fail. So my
Mesozoic.
mom called me Jelly Donut when I was a baby. She had food names for my brother and I. He had red hair, so he was pumpkin pie, and I was chubby, so I was Jelly Donut. I was just little. And then, like it stuck for a little while and then it disappeared for many, many years. But when I was trying, when deciding to have a rap name, that just kind of came out. I thought it was funny. Like the idea of Jelly D did not sound hard at all. And I'm not very hard. So that kind of worked. But then it kept escalating where like that was my rap name when I was doing really weird comedy shows in San Francisco, and I started battle rapping in Oakland, and a friend of mine made a giant Jelly Donut costume. So I actually have 2 Jelly Donut costumes that are super, you can't hear anything. It's like you're looking out of a little futon vagina around your face. And it's not an easy thing to perform in, but
That
it
must have made
looked
rebuttals
funny.
challenging, right?
Well,
You're like, oh, what did you say? Yeah, because my ears are glazed.
yeah. And we have like choppy old footage of it, and you can sometimes see me like my face disappearing and my ear coming out of the hole.
Yeah.
Trying to
Just
breathe.
trying to be in the pocket. I'm like,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
You said you
man.
have 2 of them?
Yeah, I had another one. I should
Adam's
bring them
caught on
by.
that.
One of them is in either thrown away or in a costume closet of a sketch comedy group I was in San Francisco still. But one of them is gathering dust and mold in my basement right now, probably. So I haven't broken it out in years.
That's epic.
Someday.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so when you were doing battle rapping and you were in the comedy scene in San Francisco, what did the trajectory look like from that to the New York comedy scene? What brought you over here?
Mostly just, I didn't really have, I go in and out of having faith in my like creative desires being like a valid job, right?
Yeah,
A
sure.
viable source of income for expensive cities like San Francisco and New York.
Yeah.
But I loved
You picked the 2.
doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
Seriously, yeah. But in San Francisco, I was just like, you could just, because there was less of a scene there, or it was just like less of an industry, you really could just do something weird. Like we ran a party bus where we would go to places that were illegal to be in the middle of the night in San Francisco, and I'd have musician friends play up in a tree. Like we do. That was so fun. People would just get like hammered and have a great creative time. And
Yeah.
I had a show called Late Night with God at a bar, and we made like $20 maybe, and spent all week like writing the bits. And I was like,
Oh my God.
I had like a big God beard and and
That sounds like my current life.
yeah, right. Yeah. And I would like freestyle answers to people's questions about life and
Sure.
like make dumb videos. But it was like, yes, I wanted this to turn into a career, but I didn't actually believe that was kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But then and I was broke for many years in San Francisco. It's too expensive to be a creative person. It certainly is now. Now it's very techy. But I worked in advertising for a while, and that was like, oh, there's a bunch of creative people, and I thought I'd hate it, but I ended up kind of liking it and saving up money. So then I was honestly moved to New York to get away from that, to be like, oh, I
Okay.
did that thing. If I'm really gonna start a new band and write a musical and do the creative things that I really want to do,
Yeah.
I'm like, I should do that somewhere else. And everyone's like, New York or LA. And,
Nice.
You know, New York's
And so what
just
year did
cool.
you make that transfer?
About 2013. So yeah, 11 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's actually rings a bell for me because I think that's around the time you came to UCB East and did Battlelicious.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That was my first exposure to you.
That was one of my
Delicious.
first times performing, I think, in New York, at least living here.
Okay.
I'd done shows here before, like touring through or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
totally, which was super fun.
And you blew
yeah.
my mind up there. I was like, who is this?
Oh, my God,
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really fun.
So Battlelicious was the second iteration of the Beatdown, which was a comedy rap battle run at Upright Citizens Brigade, and it was handed over from the original host Eliza Skinner to the beatboxer / host Shockwave.
Oh.
And Shockwave had
Victor,
booked- and
yeah.
Victor,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Varnado, Victor Varnado, and I battled you in like 2013 or 2014, and I was just like, this guy's amazing. I've never even seen this person before. Whatever, you know? Yeah.
It's funny because, you know, when I was battling in Oakland, my kind of thing was I would always wear a costume, like something just very, very silly. And for me, it was partially because I didn't love the conceit of battling. I loved the creativity. I love freestyling. I love like a lot of the scene I really like, but they're like, fuck you because your shoes, you know, like that part I'm like, kind of, but I'm like, what if I look like a complete idiot and there's like hopefully pitching softballs to people and
Yeah.
I get to be like, like
Yeah.
a weird character kind of thing. So Battlelicious was kind of fun too
Sure.
because it was like you, I guess, could do that. I didn't, dig
Yeah.
into characters so much there, but it was,
I love it.
know.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It's like
So
the
cool.
donut's up tonight.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
donut gonna say?
yeah. People will still get angry at you even if you're in a clown costume or whatever.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like it'll strike a chord somehow. Yeah.
Did anybody make you feel just like an absolute moron for being in the costume during some of the like serious battle raps?
I think one thing that I had going for me was not really caring at all
Yeah.
about, like, or just feeling like
Yeah.
I want people to think it's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I would wear like just underwear and an angel costume, or, I was like trying to like get a rise out of people in some way.
Yeah.
So more than that, it was, if anyone's going to judge me that I worry about, it's me. It's like,
it.
oh, I had a better punchline for that, and I think of it after. We all do this.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's always the like So I was my own worst enemy there. There were a couple people who hated me, but it was but there was mostly like it was a very entertaining. It was a show called Tourette's Without Regrets back in the
Okay.
day, and now it's called the Ruckus Rumpus Revival, I believe. This guy Jamie DeWolf, who's run it for decades, a good friend, and it's just an incredible show of like beatboxers and slam poetry, and now like a lot of circus performers. So like the vibe of it was like, oh yeah, spectacle is great. But it's more, I would occasionally battle somebody who was just phenomenal, and that was the best way to like go down. Like Thesaurus was kind of like one of the #1 battle rappers who I battled, and he still does a lot. And his
Thesaurus?
punchlines are look him up. He's great.
an
He's out of
intimidating
Vegas
name.
now. Yeah. He's incredible. So it was like a good group of MCs out there.
Wow, I
It
never
was cool.
heard of the stories before. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, look him up.
Cool. And then just to like go through the whole timeline, like why not? So what ended up bringing you to the award-winning, incredible show Freestyle Love Supreme?
Yeah, I mean, I was really lucky for part of it. I mean, I love creativity and constantly am trying to make connections in that world, but I was kind of right place, right time because I went to Wesleyan University at the same time as Lin-Manuel Miranda and Tommy Kail and Anthony Veneziali. And Anthony and I auditioned for his improv group when I was a freshman and he was maybe a sophomore or junior. And I did not get in. It was my first time ever doing improv was that audition, but I had
That's a
seen a
big
show
audition.
and I was like, I want to do that. I was in college and I'd come from like rural Maine where it was like, we don't even have language classes. It was like stop
You learn
eating.
from the cow.
Stop eating dirt. That's the lesson of the day. No, we had good teachers, but there were less extracurricular activities. I had to make my own. You know, I had like a rock band that I played in, but it was like all stuff that self-started.
If you want to go to grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you
You
want
wanna
to grow your brain,
come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. Come to rural, come to rural, come to Maine. You can learn to paint a mural. It's so good, all the colors understood, but we don't speak any other language, but it's all good, cause we got cows and we got gracelands, grasslands, phased out, man. Come on, relax, let's just chill, because if you wanna get smarter, then you don't need a pill. Just
if you want to grow your brain,
come to rural Maine.
If you want to grow your brain,
come to rural Maine.
If you want to grow your brain,
Just come to rural Maine. If you want to grow your brain, come to rural Maine.
Yo, when you grow up here, you're not an imposter. We're away from Portland. You're not eating no lobster. No. Every house is named. When you come to Maine, you about to grow your brain. Prefrontal cortex. Your mind's a vortex. You'll be reading the dictionary. Be saying what's next.
What's
Like the thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
Who schooled my boy in the rap. But when you grow up in rural Maine, you know we don't put up with crap.
If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine.
If you're jelly donut, I will tell exactly where to find you. I was born in Portland, but very soon moved to China. China's a town in Maine with no Chinese people. That is for real. Honestly, cows, that's how you feel. You see a bunch of cows and they're growing some potatoes. Also corn, and you'd never say no to maybe fishing in the lake or maybe river. But if you want to learn a language, no lessons, they will give you. So you have to learn from people. Was that 16 bars right there? I didn't learn that in Maine.
I don't care if you wanna grow your brain. Come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine.
An alternate is that you can be a dummy, sir. Yeah, instead you can go to New Hampshire. Yeah, maybe you found you lost the plot because you wound up going instead to a city in Vermont. Yeah, what else is there? I forget. No, I have another one. There's Connecticut, Rhode Island. I said New Hampshire already. Pennsylvania is insane, and New England is all of it.
If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. If you wanna grow your brain, come to rural Maine. Insane in the
real,
Maine.
in the rural
Maine.
Insane in the rural Maine.
In the Romaine,
in the Maine.
Insane in New England.
in the plane in Spain.
So is it just a touristy thing in Maine that the houses have names?
By the way, I forgot the conceit of the show already. Once we started talking, I was like, what is Doug doing?
I was in the middle of a story.
It's the simple concept of the podcast.
Yep.
If I didn't grow up in rural Maine, no, shout out to all my teachers. They were great. I graduated second in a class of 3.
Whoa.
Just
Sorry,
watch
what?
Take that third.
I was just gonna say I went to Portland when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and all the houses had names. Is that It was just in Portland, maybe? I don't know.
It's kind of fun. I was like, well, that sounds crazy. And I was like, no, I grew up in a place called Windy Acres is what we called it. And it was like a haunted 200-year-old farmhouse. And it was a creaky old ass main house in the place where Stephen King is famous, obviously. And I had one of those attics that you pull down in my bedroom. That's like...
That's terrifying.
It was definitely
Wow. I mean, it has a really appropriate name. Like a creaky place being called Windy.
Yeah. So you had grown up with them, and then you didn't get on Michael Jordan style to the high school
the
basketball
improv
team.
Yeah. So I didn't make the improv team, but Anthony and I just kind of like clocked each other as like, oh, you're fun, you're funny, you're interesting. And it's not, Wesleyan was like 2,700 students back then, so it was fairly small. And maybe Lynn and Tommy were a year below me, or maybe 2. And so we just kind of kept tabs on each other. And I moved to San Francisco after graduating college, and had been, doing all this weird comedy stuff. And I ran into Anthony on the street one day, and he had just moved there because his wife was getting a PhD in Berkeley.
Wow.
And he and I were just kind of like laughing and talking about rap, and I was like, we should freestyle together sometime. And he was like, how about right now? I live right up there. And so we went up to his apartment, and we put in, I think it was a burned CD. So this is past my cassette tape era to date myself.
Yeah.
So we put in a CD and it just like rap about stuff in the room. And like I was like, yes. And we started a new group called The Freeze, because he didn't leave Freestyle Love Supreme, but he had done a bunch of shows in New York, and he was like already missing. He was like, I did have to leave regular performances with them to be on the West Coast. So we started a group called The Freeze, which is David Diggs' first introduction to this scene as well.
Yeah.
We met David through a teaching gig, and just some incredible musicians. We kind of had a live band and freestyling and made up some games, but did some similar things to FLS as well. So
cool.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
that's
awesome.
really
So how
cool.
many years had FLS existed at that point?
God, FLS started 2002, I want to say.
Okay.
There was this there's the lore of this epic road trip that Tommy Kail and Anthony took. I forget, they were going out somewhere Midwest, and it took way longer than they thought, and they just had a Daft Punk kind of around the world, I think it might have been.
Wow.
I think that's what it was, and they just freestyled over it for hours and hours and hours.
Whoa.
And then they folded Lynn in as they're working on In the Heights. So there's a whole the group's been around longer than 20 years now.
Yeah.
And because of connecting with Anthony and then coming to New York, I had been flirting with the group for a little bit, and then when I finally moved here, I kind of auditioned to be the Mic 1 position for a number of shows, so I've been in with the group like 15 years, but doing lots of shows for at least 11 now. So it's been around. Yeah.
Wow.
It seems like that though. It seems like yesterday. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
cool.
it's big. No, I was just reminiscing because the first time I had met you was at Magnet Theater here in New York City. Was holding a musical improv festival, and I think it was like 2009, 8, 17. I don't know, somewhere.
It's a lot of numbers.
It was
in the future.
Yeah. And
You'll meet someday.
Anthony and Vivek have this duo called American Immigrants, and they headlined that show. And I remember after that set, at the end of the night, we all went to the bar next door.
Totally.
And we were all I had chatted with them a little bit, and we were just poking at the idea of just like, oh, let's start a cipher. Let's just start rapping. And then you were there. And that's when I met you, and because Anthony was like, Jelly's here. Like, there's a lot of like
what?
People from. And so anyways,
a guy in a donut costume.
Well, as long as he's here.
which one's Jelly?
Which of these people?
But yeah, it was incredible because we just took that open spot in the bar and just like a bunch of just musical improvisers in New York City from all around, because it was a festival.
And other places too. There was some Midwest.
Yes, that's
it
right.
was so fun. I remember
Oklahoma
that
City.
cipher.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a blast.
And I was just like,
TJ Mannix for producing the hell out of that
yes,
festival. Yeah.
that's right. Shout out to TJ Mannix, Michael Lutton. I think they were all like part of that production. But yeah, I thought that was the kind of like introduction to this like vibe and energy from Freestyle Love Supreme. And then I think like soon after that, I think y'all put up like the Freestyle Love Academy.
That was one of the, we did like a workshop as part of that festival as well. And, you know, we had done some of those in California with high school kids sometime. And we were, you know, Anthony was always playing around with like, oh, how do we bring these skills elsewhere? And then Shockwave and I kind of worked together and with Anthony to make a full like 7-week curriculum. But that was kind of right when it was incubating. Okay. Yeah, so we've met incredible people through doing that as well. Met Anissa Folds that way.
Yeah,
through
Anissa.
classes.
Shout out to Anissa.
Shout out to Anissa.
Yeah.
Been on the pod.
Been on the pod?
Yeah.
Just call it on.
Name dropping.
Awesome.
But yeah, I forgot about that moment. That cipher was, I mean, that's the like spirit of just making things up. This kind of thing is like what really lit me up, because the battle scene was like, oh, it was almost there in that it was like exciting, it was creative, and there was a lot of camaraderie. But to be able to like rap about anything or make up songs about anything and have it just be a vehicle for actual human connection, like telling true stories about yourself or helping somebody else relive their true story, like that is, it's funnier to me. It's more cathartic. It's, you know, that was, as soon as I found Freestyle Love Supreme and then started the Freeze, it was like, oh, this is what I really want to be doing, at least in the improv space, you know? Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that is great. What would you say to somebody who is freestyling and just can't not do bits and not try to be funny? What would your like Coach Andrew moment be?
Coach Andrew.
Oh man. Well,
Maybe do it.
I can imagine talking to just my younger self. Because, I mean, when I was on stage, I think I like overcompensated with silliness, you know, and that's, I often will be told to like, hey, come, you know, like in auditions, I'm like, yeah, I think I just vibrate on goofy, you know? So it's really, but I play a lot of like folk music, and so, you know, it took me a while to like really trust myself in the hip hop world that I am not completely a poser, or I can use that art form for more cathartic, real storytelling, you know? So, you know, and
what's the affirmation? Like, what's the, like, what, when you look in the mirror and you're like, hey, you're not just a bit, you're not just a gimmick. How do you, cause I'm basically trying to tell this to myself right now. So like, what would you tell someone who's like, hey, you're not only gonna rap funny?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's the visceral experience of having done it or doing it myself. And I mean, using that, like, hip hop is such a giant art form. It's completely evolving and changing at all times. And like, just spending the time to tell important stories through that art form has like completely changed. I've like come to tears on stage now. I mean, I'm very blessed to be in a group, Freestyle Love Supreme, that was really well thought out, and, you know, people paved the way. And Tommy Cale's an incredible director. You know, I got to do our song True hundreds of times in the past 5 years, and I've had some of the most cathartic experiences. You know, my dad died during this period a few years ago, and just like going on tour after that, or having moments of like reminiscing about him, if the word given to us sparked a memory there, sometimes that kind of story would come out, and it just became a like, oh, I'm releasing things. And you know, you get that medial prefrontal cortex, like your eyes go into the back of your head and you're not like planning a punchline anymore. It's just kind of like words, and you're connecting with the music and the beatboxer, you know, like it just becomes such a beautiful experience. And then people after the show will often just be like, wow, that was my favorite part. It wasn't the falling on your butt or playing a duck or, you know, like whatever other dumb things I'm definitely going to do anyway.
Classic
like,
falling on your butt as a duck.
If there's like a baby or an animal, I'll probably play it and have to rap at some point, you know. But yeah, those cathartic moments, and just even doing it on my own, like, you know, like songwriting, you know, it took me a while to get away from like, oh, only guitar can bring out the emotional side of things. It's just like, if you hear the right beat that moves you in a certain way, you know, just like talking myself through my day or telling a true story is just like a really fun exercise just to do solo, or long car rides are perfect for that, you know, where, you've got so much more to say than sometimes if you're a funny person, you're like, I've got to be the funny person, you know,
Right.
or if you,
Yeah.
you know,
You slip right back into that like childhood overcompensation or whatever.
That's
Yeah.
the
Right.
validation that you kind of get used to and get addicted to.
Yeah.
It's just like, especially if you sort of grow up as like a little bit of a little bit of a nerd in some way.
Yep,
You kind of
yep.
find yourself being like, wait a second, I have the control now. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I put on a jelly donut outfit and I gotcha.
I've noticed on stage you are a full body performer.
Oh,
I was just like, oh my gosh. I feel like I'm operating at maybe 50% physicality of what Jelly is. And I'm curious, where do you
that's
get the...
such a nice way to
you're
say
a
you
unit-
overact like
You're a unit of
Oh, no,
measurement.
it's not
a little
overacting.
obtuse on that judge character.
Yeah. That judge that turned into a...
Yeah, Judge Daffy was a little. That was a drama.
I'm going to fall off my ass, quack, quack.
Sorry, I interrupted you again, but yeah.
It's actually not about overacting at all. It really is that I was inspired. I was like, I told Lisa, my girlfriend, after the show, I was like, oh man, like that's that Broadway training, you know, because you have to play to the back of the house. And I was like, I was wondering if like, did
That's
Broadway
interesting.
calibrate you for playing full body all the time?
Probably, but I think also friends and fellow performers would probably say that I'm large physically all the time anyway. You know, like I love dancing and like like I want to use the space. And you're right. Like I haven't always gotten to do that. You know, you do a lot of shows. My first like series of Freestyle Love Supreme shows with me is Mike One. We're at Joe's Pub, and it's a beautiful house, but it's a little stage, you know, for a bunch of us. So you like really have to be, and then you get to watch people like Shockwave who are like very good with object work and you know like the specificity. So that's what I've tried to hone, the smaller stuff. But I like being big, and also I think it helps me. The more I'm moving my body, or at least getting to use it, the less I'm like just spending up in here, judging and shutting down, and you know, like, I think it helps to move the blood, and, you know, get in your heart space.
I love that.
I'm a little curious. So we have like two sides of you. We have like the true side of you, the sort of more authentic feeling side of you, and like the wacky falling duck side of you. Are they both equally physical?
Oh, that's a good question.
Hey, thanks.
I mean, I think that the more sincere often takes on a different vibration. You know, I think things slow down a little bit. I mean, you know, looking at Freestyle Love Supreme again, like our song "True" is like it's the one thing that we're seated for. You know, and it's meant to be a little more calm, I think, to the eyes of the audience and ears of the audience, but also for us to be like, oh, let me just sit with this, you know, instead of, you know, big improv scene running around, coming in through a door, being a different person, like that kind of thing. But that's not to say you can't, be that serious, sincere person and still be very much in it.
Because you are a real
physically.
person that moves a lot.
Yeah. But I think physical, I can lean on physicality for comedy sometimes, or at least for, bigger spectacle.
That was a good question.
Yeah. It's like what I got from that was the interviewer.
So you think I'm good at
Pretty
questions?
He's going to be high on that the whole rest of the interview.
Yeah, take a note here, actually.
Mom,
That's
you'll
something
never
I
guess
said.
what happened.
Physicality, physicality. Let's make it big. Physicality. Let's make it big.
I'm a marshmallow. I'm a large fellow. I'ma take a breath, pop it, big bellow. I'ma roll, tumble, grumble, bumble. You can check me out. Physicality is my struggle. It's a struggle to be as big as I want. But when I am being authentic, then I do not have to flaunt. It can come from a grounded place, from a grounded face. I don't have to do too much. And when I'm feeling good, physicality's my touch.
Physicality. physicality. Let's make it big. Physicality, physicality, physicality. Let's make it big.
Physicality, physicala, you and cala me. Let's get physical, and a physical. Grab your balls and cough. That's what happens in a physical. What am I talking about? I'm a like mystical. Thinking about how to use my body. Yes, it's moving oddly, but it's to use it, it's almost kind of godly. Yeah, to get out of your brain, to get into your heart and playing that part. Doing it from beginning to start. I mean, beginning to end. This is my friend, your body, your physical, your toes and head. This world is beautiful, and how much of it have we seen? How much have we read? Please explore that space from here to outer space. Use your knees, use your duck, use your face.
Physicality, physicality, physicality. Let's make it big. Physicality, physicality, physicality. Let's make it big.
But there's also a time where it's okay to be authentic. You know it's that time right now, because look at me, I'm in right here on this chair. So I'm going to be real with you, okay? So here, but if it doesn't work, if I don't get the validation that I seek, if that validation's not peak, if it kind of reeks, then I'm gonna go back into old habits. Not gonna sit, gonna stand up and pretend like I'm a duck on a bike who is riding along like gonna fall. Oh no!
Physicality,
duck on a bike.
physicality, physicality. Let's make it big. Physicality, physicality, physicality. Let's make it big.
Rear mezzanine freaks out.
Whoa! In a different theater.
That's so tall.
In rural Maine.
Whoa! When did they get a theater?
Just a courthouse.
Whoa! When did they get a courthouse?
Crime is rampant.
The judge is a duck.
Wow, I can't do a duck sound. Whoa. And I tried my best.
Hey. Whoa.
Holy crap.
I tried to, but it's not articulate enough. I tried to say I find you duck guilty, but
Oh my God,
I don't think you can translate that.
worst
You're gonna have to
critic.
go back.
You were meant to become friends with Kayla Milady because she can do the duck voice amazing. Yeah.
What the hell? That is like, wow, I feel really bad about mine.
That's really good.
Mine's pretty bad.
it.
If you're
But you
only
had that good
listening right
question
now,
earlier.
this podcast just got very less green.
Less green, my bad. Yeah, is this going to throw
This
off
is
the whole
yeah, the
continuity?
color balance is fucked now.
We'll edit it back on.
Will it balance
Camera's
it if I-
smoking
I'm gonna
right
have
take
to
now.
use
my
an
pants
AI
off?
filter in Premiere to fix it.
Oh, they definitely have that.
Yeah, definitely.
Use it to punch up my raps, too.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, ChatGPT, tell me how to make this better.
Yeah. 4 robots doing Freestyle Love Supreme. This is my true.
North Coast presents, but like it's all like just one word.
Yeah.
The image is distorted. Have you tried that where you ask it for an image
generator. Yeah.
and then like you try to give it words and it's just the letters just meld.
And it
Yeah.
just wants to, you're like, no, words you can be normal with. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Truly. It's like, listen to my feedback on that one. Like, no, they've got fingers, right? We know words.
It's like back in.
Enough. Just 10 on one hand, right?
I'm a human.
It's like when Watson was on Jeopardy way back when.
Yeah.
It was very intelligent, but every now and then there was a question that made it look like really stupid.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta Google
I never
this.
saw that.
There were
Yeah.
some questions that it got wrong. You're like, I got you beat. For
You're
this
like, you
one
don't know
question.
Steve Urkel.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Are
the
you a
neighbor of
Jeopardy
the
head? Do you love
Winslows?
Jeopardy?
I like Teen Jeopardy.
Teen
and Celebrity.
Jeopardy?
I like Jeopardy where hypothetically, like, I could win that.
Okay.
But like
Yes.
college and above, I'm like, this is a little hard
is
now.
So
challenging.
you enjoy feeling superior to the people on the screen.
Oh yeah, I like the fantasy. Yeah.
You're the kind of guy who plays like one-on-one against fourth graders. So you're just like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
do this.
No, I definitely like. I had like a laser tag event where it was all adults, and when I was on their team against nothing but 5-year-olds.
What?
Yeah, and like we just were like,
great.
okay, we're gonna win by a lot.
Incredible.
Incredible. All right, back to our guest.
They don't care. They're just glad to be playing laser tag. We want to win.
Yeah.
You get more petty, kids.
I don't care if it's ethical. I'm winning.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything extracurricular? What are you doing when you're like, I gotta go blow off some steam. I gotta go have some fun outside of my already fun spaces.
Yeah, that's a good question. What do I do?
You laser tag?
I walk in the park quite a bit.
Whoa, okay.
Prospect Park. Yeah, for fun. I'm trying to think of like sports, that kind of thing. I mean, I love. I do like dancing. I haven't been out. Like COVID changed things, I think.
Yeah,
where I'm
magic.
not even like I'm not scared of going out, but I feel like I used to go out more. Maybe I'm just getting older too. But like I love riding my bike and jumping in the ocean is like the best thing in the world. Yes. But I love honestly playing music with people is like my favorite. Anything creative, seeing shows, consuming that kind of stuff, and human connection is still very important. I'm finding that I'm like nesting more since COVID, but also I have a new space with more room, and I went on tour and then lived in Vegas for 3 months with Freestyle Love Supreme, and that was a lot. Let's sit with the cat for a while. You know, it was all great, and it's my like to actually be in a show where I'm doing something that's more fun than anything is great. I'll do it anytime they ask me, but I think also because I got so much social fun from that, like I need people, but I like filled the tank for a while. So yeah. And now,
Is there anything outside of I literally only know you like improv and like freestyle and stuff. Is there anything that you like to create that's more planned or creative, like music or but I don't know, plays. I don't know. Is there anything that you like doing with that?
I've been writing music since I was a kid. I wrote poetry before I could play an instrument, and then once I started playing a little bit of piano and teaching myself guitar and bass, I was in punk bands and making up hip hop songs. And so my wife and I have a band called Moon Drunk. We haven't played together much for a while because she's been performing quite a bit, and I've been doing a lot of Freestyle Love Supreme, but I write those songs, and she's an incredible singer, so that's really fun. So I do a lot of guitar, like slightly more sincere stuff. I have silly guitar songs too, but we have a piano. I've been writing a musical for a few years now about my parents. So that's like the longest thing that I've ever. And I've written other smaller musicals and sketch comedy stuff before, but this is the longest project that I've ever kind of worked on, and it's over 2 hours, and it's on its 4th draft, and still got a ways to go. But that's very like there's a lot of sincere and funny, hopefully, stuff in there. So yeah, that's what if I need to like sit down and like plug away at something, that's like what's in the back of my head of like.
That's awesome. What's the plan for like future public consumption of said musical?
Yeah, I mean, I want that to happen now. I've turned the corner of I just had like a couple months ago, had a bunch of people over to our place, Anissa and some of Ashley's Broadway friends, and just a great group of people. Kayla was there reading parts just to like read through a draft of it. I learned so much from it, and I stumbled through most of the instrumentation and stuff. So that got me to like, ooh, wow. Okay, cool. Let's say I'm 2/3 of the way there, but that last third is like a lot of work. And so my hope is, I don't know, by the end of the year, trying to do a workshop that like some people can see at the end, that kind of thing. But just like really, it needs work, and a musical is a living, breathing thing. It's this crazy, like, it's been like here and here for so long that I have a writing partner named Sarah Gancher who I just share things with, and she gives feedback on and really helped me make the kind of outline for it. But now it's getting to the place where like I need funny people and musical people and like breathing their hearts and spirits into it to become more of what it should be. I
What
think.
a huge undertaking.
It's cool. I mean, I've been surrounded, obviously, by some like geniuses in that world. So it's kind of like my parents have a really interesting love story, and I've always wanted to make it something. And at one point, it was kind of a screenplay in my mind. But now I'm like, no, I'm a lyricist probably before I'm a musician or a book writer. So I'm like, let's start there. Let's musical seems like.
I'm so curious about your parents' love story, but I don't want to spoil anything.
I can give you a very quick elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch. Elevator pitch. Elevator pitch. Elevator pitch.
Okay, let me talk about my childhood. Okay, actually, let me reverse that. No way, because this was before Jelly Donut ever hit the earth. Both my parents are from Maine, for whatever it's worth. My dad was born in Augusta, and that's the capital of Maine. Didn't have much money, and he kind of went insane. And from his first drink, he was a crazy alcoholic. He was up to hustling pool, and whatever you call it. Hitchhiked to California, dated Grace Slick from Jefferson Airplane, and popped a whole bunch of crazy shit. Went to jail, also a 3-week coma, and his first wife and his kids left him because he was like, oh no. He was a train wreck alcoholic and a hustler. And then my mommy had a different kind of bustler. She had a vision when she was in the 7th grade. She saw St. Joseph and was like, I don't need to get paid. I'm going to become a Catholic nun. And that is what she done. She was a Catholic nun for 7 years. It was sort of fun. It's very interesting. It's true. What's else to tell them? Oh, right. Later on, they met at an insane asylum.
Elevator pitch. Elevator pitch. Elevator pitch. That's an elevator pitch.
That shit is true. So yeah, it's called The Hustler and the Nun, and my dad was an alcoholic bull hustler, and my mom was a Catholic nun.
That's incredible.
That's legitimately very interesting.
It's pretty, and
Somewhere Kelly O'Hara just went.
amazing. Yeah, totally.
Oh my gosh.
If you're listening, want to be a part of the
band,
you want to get in on the ground level.
Is that what the judge sounds like?
I get in here.
Before it turns into a duck. Yeah, it's a were-duck situation when the full moon is out.
I love this. I love you. This is so fun. I
this
can
is the
talk to you
best.
for hours.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I got nothing today.
Yeah, you got nothing.
You're like, I'm actually trying to wrap it up.
Yeah.
This is
That's
my
my
nice
way
way
of
of
wrapping
saying
it up,
we-
and that's your way of stringing it out.
This is where I turn to the screen and say, we're brought to you by Squarespace. No,
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I
Was
wish.
that real?
I wish.
Squarespace.
Do we have Squarespace?
You want to get it on the ground floor?
Squarespace, get a ground floor.
Blue Apron, Casper, AG1, Squarespace,
Mailchimp?
MailChimp. There, yeah.
Spindrift.
Yeah,
This is
Spindrift.
free
Hi,
advertising. You
Let
could
us-
pay for it.
Yeah. Let us be your affiliate. Be your affiliate. 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 Ooh, I want to read that mid-roll. Mid-roll.
Wow.
Get my bank account swole. Count swole. Personalized link. Then you can think. After the podcast, I'ma type that in and chink, ching with the money. That's what I was doing, not funny. And now you spend it, and then we can do this podcast as our full-time thing. So yo, use that affiliate link and get us some bling.
Let me be your affiliate. Be your affiliate. 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 I'll be your affiliate. If you take a video of your product's so nice. I wanna spend all the money like I spend it on ice. I wanna spend it on the fees and I spend it on price. I wanna spend it real high and low like Vincent Price.
Be your affiliate, Bubba, be your affiliate. Let us be your affiliate, Bubba, be your affiliate. Bubba, be your affiliate, Bubba, be your affiliate. Bubba, be your affiliate.
You want to make money or you want to make some more? This is your chance, everyone, to get on the ground floor.
Sir, Your Honor.
I don't know how I became English instead of a prospector, but if you're not spending the money on this. Let's correction. Yeah, listen to this shit. Maybe you were selling green. Maybe you're spelling spindrift. Objection. So can we get sponsored by the color green? Because then we'll be seeing more green than these bitches ever seen. Be your affiliate.
Be your affiliate. Be your affiliate. Be your affiliate.
Now let me tell you, I really tried product. And let me tell you, I like product.
Oh, wow.
Product changed my life. I used product with my wife. And made our sleep better. And I have more energy to play some ball with my kids and make dinner. It is fresh. It tastes good. Product made it. And you should get it yourself. You should try it too. Trust me, product is the best thing that can happen to you.
So be your affiliate. Be your affiliate.
Seriously, please sponsor this podcast. If you are laughing right now, rate and review, or tell your friends with money to be your affiliate.
It sounds like a joke, but like
Call
you
now.
could do it.
Yeah,
It's real.
we'll wrap your ad roll. No,
Yeah.
this is not about that. I mean,
This is about.
Every now and then you hear a podcast that's like, I believe in this thing, and I talk it, and like they're probably
Yeah.
just faking it really well. But
yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
this is the podcast. They'll make a jingle for you. I've worked in advertising. This is gonna cost less
Yeah.
than an ad agency.
Exactly. You could
At
hire
first.
Jesus
If you get
and
in on the ground.
Oh my God.
It would
We
never not
can't
be
top
funny.
that. We can't top that. But I feel like Stephanie would be upset if we didn't ask
Oh,
some of her
yes.
questions.
Oh,
so we're gonna
right.
do a lightning round.
Shut up, Mo
And
Steph.
anything that we already asked, I will skip. Okay, here we go. Hit it, Dr. Brick. Stephanie Ray, lightning round. Stephanie Ray.
Oh, is this
lightning
rap?
round. Stephanie Ray. I don't know.
Stephanie Ray,
Is that okay?
lightning round.
All right, so you're Andrew, but you're commonly known as Jelly Donut. Where did this name come from? We already said that. I noticed that you have guitars on the wall behind you. How long have you been playing, and how did you get into it?
Whoa.
Well, my mom had a guitar when she was a nun, so one day I found one. It was a 12-string bowed thing that didn't play well, but I was like, I should learn it. Oh, hell, I think I was about 10, learned it back then, and I've been playing, so now I've been playing for 75 years, because I'm 85 years old. Do the math.
Stephanie Lightning Round. Oh, it's a Stephanie Ray Lightning Round.
It's a Stephanie Ray lightning round. It's a Stephanie Ray lightning
All right, so
round.
she says she knows you're married as well as your wife is. Okay, let me try that again. I know that you're married as well, and your wife's a performer. You two have made some incredible music together. How did this begin? And what was the story of your meet cute? Tell us about collaborating in that glory.
Okay, when I saw that ass sitting over there in my acting class, when I moved to New York City, see, my brain is shitty, because I was looking at her beautiful face, and we became acting partners in the place. Did a couple scenes, and I brought a song in, and she was like, yes, begin that again, and I will add a harmony, and then we harmonized together. Yes, you could see.
Hey.
She made everything I did a little better. I mean, a lot better, honestly. Taking off my sweater, and the rest is history. After that, started a band called Moon Drunk, and that was kind of fat. I had a guy playing cello by the name of Yair, and I like to brush my hands through her hair.
Oh, Stephanie Ray Lightning Round.
It's a Stephanie Ray lightning
Okay,
round.
so was it surreal seeing yourself in a Hulu documentary up on the shelf?
Oh, you dudes need to see the thing on Hulu. Yeah, that was crazy.
What if that was just the answer?
I'm just plugging. Tune in now. Hulu's got in on the ground level. Yes, it was. It was kind of a little crazy because a bunch of my friends obviously in that show, but I learned things that Jelly Donut didn't know, and yeah, I want to watch that over and over. Put me on the TV with Grover, Sesame Street. I'll do anything you want. Actually, Bill works for Stephanie. Now, I'm gonna just get down a rabbit hole here. Next question. This is a lightning round. That was a very thunder
lightning
answer.
round. It's Stephanie Ray lightning round.
It's Stephanie Ray
lightning round.
Last question, Stephanie Ray Lightning Round.
Hey.
What's been the strangest celebrity encounter that you've had?
Oh.
Do you have a favorite?
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Well,
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite?
All right, there's some people that I should probably be telling, like we met Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen, and that was pretty great. They came on stage as well, and honestly, both funny as hell. And Brooke Shields was great, and Matthew Reese, beautiful people, yes, and Elise and Josh Groban. I saw him just the other day. He sang with us, then came to our party. We had a Halloween party, and it was funny. He showed up and was like, "You guys are crazy, kind of money." Actually,
But he said it like this.
because he's got a beautiful sound. My voice is pissed next to his. But he's very fun and funny. Honestly, my dummy. What else? Oh, yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him. I gotta love Lynn. Lynn is someone that we work with all of the time. People are like, "How is he?" I'm like, "Nah, he's fine." No. He just blows your mind. He's the nicest dude, incredibly kind. He's a genius.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
Jelly D is a genius.
Oh,
He's a genius.
He's a
Yes,
genius.
it's true. But my favorite stars today are you.
All right. That is the North Coast Podcast. Thank you so much, Jelly D, for coming in.
Thank you
and
for
having
having
me.
me. Appreciate
So
it.
much fun. So much
guys
fun.
kill it.
Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, yeah.
Twitter's Jelly D. Instagram is MC Jelly D because it's different. I don't even know what I am on TikTok, but I'm on there. Yeah,
There you
come
go.
find me.
Just type it in, Jelly
Yeah,
D.
just look up.
And if you want to be
Bancroft and
affiliate,
Jelly Donut.
get in on the ground floor. Get in on
Sponsor this podcast, people. Come on.
Yeah,
This
look
is
at it.
gems
We're
for
having
you.
fun. Fun.
Have a lot
And
of
if
fun.
you really did enjoy it, please rate and review on Apple Podcasts, or if you're on Spotify, quickly rate the podcast. That helps the algorithm so more people can find us.
That's right.
Thank you so much for listening to the North Coast Podcast, and we will see you soon.